When it comes to choosing a family protector, two names always rise to the top: the Rhodesian Ridgeback and the Rottweiler. Both powerful. Both loyal. Both fearless. But if you had to pick just one to stand between your family and danger, which would you choose? The silent African hunter bred to face lions, or the Roman guardian known for unmatched courage and strength? Today, we go deep inside the instincts, the temperaments, the training, and the truth, to find out which of these incredible breeds is the real guardian of the home. And I promise you this, by the end of this video, you may find yourself questioning everything you thought you knew about protective dogs. Let's start with the Rhodesian Ridgeback, a dog that carries the legacy of African survival in its DNA. This isn't just a dog that looks noble. It is noble. Ridgebacks were bred to track and confront lions, not to kill them, but to hold them at bay until hunters could catch up. That requires intelligence, restraint, and confidence like no other. They don't act on impulse. They read the room, size up a threat, and then decide if it's worth their energy. In the home, this translates into a calm, sometimes aloof, but deeply bonded protector. They don't bark without reason. They don't overreact. But if they feel their family is truly threatened, they switch on. And when they do, they move with the silence and force of something primal. Now enter the Rottweiler, the living fortress of the dog world. This breed has been guarding families, livestock, and property since Roman times. They are deliberate, muscular, and emotionally tuned into their humans in a way that's almost eerie. Rottweilers don't just protect, you feel their presence. They shadow your steps. They observe guests. They stand between you and the door without being asked. It's not aggression. It's purpose. They are bred to work beside their handler, to protect not out of dominance, but out of devotion. But here's the catch: if you don't provide structure and leadership, a Rottweiler can become possessive, even dangerous. They need clarity. Because their power without direction is like a loaded weapon without a safety. So who's better around kids? You might be surprised, both are excellent with children, if raised correctly. The Ridgeback is dignified, patient, and not easily provoked. They tolerate noise and chaos, but don't expect them to be goofy clowns. They prefer independence. They'll supervise from the sidelines, and only step in when something feels off. The Rottweiler, on the other hand, is often far more affectionate and playful with kids, but also more protective. They'll nudge, supervise, correct, and sometimes even block strangers from getting too close. With children, a Rottweiler becomes a nanny with muscles. But again, this requires strong socialization from a young age. One mistake, one lack of boundaries, and things can turn fast. What about strangers? Here's where the breeds really start to differ. The Ridgeback is wary, but polite. They won't lunge or bark unless truly provoked, but they absolutely do not trust quickly. They're thinkers. Observers. They analyze energy. The Rottweiler, by contrast, makes their feelings known immediately. They bark. They posture. Not because they're aggressive, but because they're alert and assertive. It's not about fear, it's about control. You walk into a Ridgeback space, they watch. You walk into a Rottweiler's space, you're told. One is the silent bodyguard. The other is the armored front door. Now let's talk trainability, and this might shock you. The Rottweiler, despite their intimidating look, is incredibly trainable. They thrive on structure. They want tasks. They want rules. They want to work with you. Obedience, protection training, therapy work, even scent detection, Rottweilers excel across the board. They're not just muscle, they're mind. The Ridgeback, meanwhile, is fiercely intelligent, but far more independent. They don't aim to please. They aim to understand. They'll do what you ask, if they respect you. If not, good luck. You don't command a Ridgeback. You negotiate. And if they sense weakness or inconsistency in you, they'll dismiss your authority without hesitation. Energy-wise, the Ridgeback wins in terms of endurance. They can run, hike, and move all day. But inside the home, they're surprisingly relaxed, as long as their physical and mental needs are met. They don't beg for attention. They're not needy. The Rottweiler is more intense in short bursts, explosive play, short sprints, powerful tug games, but also needs human contact. They want to be part of your every moment. Ignored too long, they'll act out. Rottweilers bond with you. Ridgebacks bond beside you. So which dog is safer? That's the million-dollar question. The answer: it depends on you. The Rottweiler will give you more overt protection, more warnings, and more control if trained well. But mishandled, they're far more likely to be involved in incidents because of their strength and confidence. The Ridgeback will not warn as much, but when they decide it's time to act, they act decisively and effectively. They're safer by default in public settings because they don't react emotionally. But they also won't tolerate threats, and when they bite, they mean it. The truth is, neither of these breeds is better. They're different tools for different people. The Ridgeback is the quiet sentinel, the lion hunter who waits for a real threat. The Rottweiler is the battle tank, always scanning, always guarding, always willing to step forward first. If you're calm, confident, and consistent, either one will give their life for your family. But if you want a protector and aren't ready to be a leader, these dogs will not save you. They will expose you. So, Ridgeback or Rottweiler? That's not the question. The real question is, who are you? And what kind of protector do you need?